Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a Holiday Glam themed thrift haul, and I'm also going to be showing you quick fixes that I'm doing on some of the clothes, along with some transformations that I'll also be doing on some of the clothes. Before we get started, Coolerpa has a sponsor today. Thank you so much to Fiverr for sponsoring today's video. Fiverr is a marketplace that connects businesses with freelancers that offer digital services. So you can hire someone to create a thumbnail for your YouTube channel, or to design a logo for your business, or to create an animation, and so much more. I hired a freelancer to design this beautiful sweater right here. I'm not gonna call it an ugly sweater because it's so cute. It says, "'Tis the season to be sewing." I thrifted this neon pink crew neck from Savers, and then my freelancer was able to send me the design in different layers, which made it really easy for me to transfer it over to my Cricut and have all of this cut out and ironed on. What I love about Fiverr is that it's really easy to communicate with the freelancer and be a part of the design process before anything is finalized. And my freelancer was able to design this and get this sent to me in only one day. If you're interested in checking out Fiverr, you can head on over to fiverr.co/Coolerpa and use my code Coolerpa for 10% off your purchase. I hope you enjoyed this video, and let's get started. All right, the first item I thrifted is from Savers, and it's these high-waisted, shiny red pants right here. They're too big at the waist and hips for me, but I found a super simple and smart way to make them fit me better. To quickly alter these pants, I'm going to be taking them in from the side seams. While wearing the pants, pinch how much needs to be taken in at the waist and place pins there. I'm going to be sewing a diagonal line from the waist that will taper down to my hips. Take the pants off and evenly measure the amount taken in at the waist on both sides. Because I want to keep the original side seam stitching, I'm going to be sewing this like how you would hem the bottom of jeans to keep the original stitching. Instead of evenly folding the side seam in half, I'll be taking in the pants in front of the side seam. This way, the new seam line will be sewn right next to the original side seam. It's kind of hard to explain, but this is the back side of the pants, and you can see that the side seam is folded to the back, so it's not part of the seam allowance. Once I get to the tapered point, I just continue sewing next to the side seam stitching all the way to the bottom. I'm not sure if this will work on all pants, but it turned out really nice for these ones. Afterwards, I just leave the extra seam allowance inside. That way it can always be reverted back to the original size if needed. To pair with those red pants, I thrifted this gold tinsel sweater. I also found these silver metallic heels from Savers, and I found this awesome vinyl purse with some pearl embellishments in the front and a pearl strap from Goodwill. Here is my entire thrifted look from head to toe. The next thrifted item I found is from Goodwill, and it's this cowl neck jumpsuit right here. The cowl just drapes so perfectly on, and the overall fit I have no complaints about. It's just the length of the pants that are just a tad too long. To shorten the pant legs, I made sure to wear a pair of heels because that's probably what I would be wearing with this. And then I asked Eric to mark the bottom of it with a pin. I need about 2 inches taken off, but the hem is 1 inch, so I'm only cutting off 1 inch from the bottom. After pressing the hem, the material just went flat again, so I'm pinning it in place so it doesn't move around. Now just hem both of the pant legs. Here is the final altered look. The next thrifted item I found is this black sequin bat wing mini dress from Savers. And when I saw it in stores, I thought it would need a transformation, but once I put it on, it was actually really cute and I decided not to do anything with it. But instead, I'm gonna show you 2 different ways that you can transform it still without cutting a thing. I'm demonstrating on my dress form, but it's easier to play around with different looks when wearing it yourself. For the first transformation, slide your arms out of the sleeve and slide the neckline under your arm so it's around your chest. Then straighten out the sleeves and nicely drape them over your shoulders, bringing them to the back side and pinning it behind the neckline. To secure it in place, you can either use safety pins or sew it down. I'm sewing it down so it can look a little cleaner and the stitching can always be removed afterwards. And here's what it looks like on. There was some bagginess around the waist for me, so I just added a belt to cinch it in. The second way I'm going to show you how to wear it is by once again sliding the neckline off the shoulders and under your arms and around the chest. Then wrap one sleeve diagonally across and around your neck. And repeat the same thing to the other side, crossing it over around the neck. Again, to secure the sleeves in place, you can either use safety pins or sew them together. I flipped the ends of the sleeve right sides together and quickly sewed them down. Remember, you can always undo the stitching so it doesn't have to be permanent. Here's how it looks like on. When wearing it, I noticed bagginess still around the waist, so if I really had to wear this out, I would tuck those areas in and hand sew it in place. Or I can belt it again. There's definitely more creative ways you can wear this dress, but these 2 were my favorites. The last thrifted items I found is this shimmery greenish blue dress from Savers. And for this dress, I'm definitely going to be completely transforming it. And I wanted to pair it with this black fur bolero that I will also be doing a quick fix on to fit me better. First, I took apart the dress. There's not much material to work with, but I think I can make it a bodycon dress with chunky shoulder straps, and I'm also going to be adding a cutout design on one side for an asymmetrical fun look. I draped the bodice on my dress form. Afterwards, I temporarily sewed the bodice together with a basting stitch first so I can fit it on myself. Once I finalize the fit, I can cut out the same pieces from the lining bodice and permanently sew the bodice pieces. Now for the skirt, while wearing it, I evenly took in the sides to fit me. After making the changes, I cut out the same skirt pieces from the lining skirt, and then I can permanently sew the skirts together at the side seams. Next, I can now attach the bodice to the skirt at the waist. I'll be using the biggest scraps I have left to create the straps, and since the straps need to be long enough, I have to piece the scraps together. There also wasn't enough lining material, so I actually went to purchase more of the same fabric to line the straps with. Sew the straps along both sides and turn it inside out. You can position the straps in place on the outside dress layer and base stitch it on for now. Next, I'm going to mark my asymmetrical design and cut it out, making sure to stay stitch around the opening so it doesn't stretch out. For the lining side, I only roughly cut it out and left a lot of space so I can match it up with the outside layer later. Now we can sew the two layers together along the neckline, sandwiching the straps inside. After that, I lined up all the seams and pinned them in place so I can evenly serge the cutout. Once the two cutout layers are attached, I'm now going to lightly stretch and sew some elastic on the lining side of the cutout. You can do this on your sewing machine, but I used my serger to clean up some parts. Next, hem the elastic cutout by simply folding it over to the wrong side and stretching it as you sew. To close up the back, I sewed in an invisible zipper. And lastly, hem the bottom of the skirt and we're finished. Here is the final transformation. I'm pairing this dress with a fur bolero that's too big on me, so I'm quickly taking it in at the center back to fit me. I hope all of you enjoyed watching this thrift haul and all the quick fixes and transformations that I made in here. This sweater being the last one actually. And don't forget to head on over to fiverr.co/coolerpa and use my code coolerpa for 10% off. Thank you so much for watching and Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and Happy New Year, and I'll see you in 2022. Bye!